following program is intended for mature audiences.
I am a god. We the real rock stars, and I'm the biggest of all of them. I am a god.
Man, have you ever seen Kim Kardashian?
Everybody says, who does he think he is? I am a god. I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I am a god.
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation.
I am a god.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Man, have you ever seen Kim Kardashian?
We the real rock stars, and I'm the biggest of all of them.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh.
I am a god.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And download every episode and more at basicallyasportshow.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg,
Mike.
And you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
So it's your very first time at Timo Solani's restaurant.
Yes.
When did it open?
A year and a half ago.
And it's taken you this long to get there.
It's an expensive place, man.
Okay.
I wanted to go for my birthday last year, and I forgot.
Oh, that's right. Zach had a birthday this week, Mike.
I did.
Oh, happy birthday.
He turns 25?
25.
That's right.
Well, say goodbye to your early 20s.
I'll tell you this much, too. The time really starts flying from this point, so...
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. But my birthday did signify a personal accomplishment. I told Greg the other day that I have some jersey news.
Yes, big personal jersey news.
Okay.
Well, with the birthday money I acquired and just by some happenstance that happened yesterday, I've purchased my holy grail, boys.
Oh. Uh-oh.
A regularly fitting, high-quality Wild Wing jersey.
Ooh.
Which I am currently wearing.
Do you have pictures?
I haven't taken pictures of it yet.
Okay.
But I am most certainly wearing it.
Awesome.
High quality CCM replica. The patches are sewed on; they're not glued on.
Nice.
The panels are sewn on. It's like a step below an authentic. But
would we be out of line in asking how much you paid for it?
I paid the going rate for these things, $300.
Woo! Hey, but you know what? It was your birthday.
Well, I got my birthday money and I got a paycheck on the same day.
Uh-oh.
So I had a stash. And just, I didn't go out looking for it. I was just kind of on one of these Ducks groups, and somebody had put it up while I was sitting at my lunch break. It's like, hey, I have an extra one of these, and I'm looking to sell it if anybody wants it. And of course, people want it. But I was like the first person to see it, and so I immediately messaged him like, what size is it, and how much do you want?
And it was your size?
It's a double X.
Nice.
Okay, great. And he's like, and $300. And at first I'm like, $300, that's a lot. But then I thought about it a little more, and I'm like, but you know what? That's the going rate for these things. Mm-hmm. I can either try to outbid somebody on eBay whenever they show up, or just go get this one. Mm-hmm. And he was local, so he said, okay, let's meet up. And we met in a public parking lot, and just
it sounds like a drug deal.
I know. I had a stack of 20s. It's like favorite cash. And
they're
so
on the corner,
like a brown paper bag.
They're on the corner looking over their shoulders. Okay, man, give it here. And Zach gives them the money real quick.
It was a black plastic bag. And I'm like, let me see it first. And I pull it out and I check the patches.
Have to test the merchandise.
Right.
Well, yeah, I check the patches. I kind of hold it up to the light and do my little things with it. I'm like, you know what? This is it. This is
the good stuff.
This is what I want. So
does it have a number?
Trigger. No.
Okay, cool.
No number, but that's fine. I have one of these, but it's the first jersey I ever owned, and it was like a youth medium, so it doesn't exactly fit anymore.
Probably not, yeah.
And there were soda stains on it, and the patches were glued on, so they were kind of peeling up all over the place. So I was always like, I wish I could have one that I could wear, and so now I do.
Nice,
so
awesome.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to the Capitals-Ducks game on Sunday, so it'll get its first taste of the Wild on Sunday.
Excellent, congratulations.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm really stoked.
That's cooler than...
I didn't even post it on the boards yet. I saved it to talk about the show.
Cool.
Got to go put it in the white whale thread. And
awesome.
Yeah,
Well, I've already scored my 2 white whales, basically. My Holy Grail jerseys. In hockey, I should say. I've got my Crusaders jersey, and I finally got my Nordiques jersey, so I have nothing left to shoot for.
Mike, do you have a white whale?
I actually don't. I mean, there's a jersey that I would like them to make, but they haven't made it yet, so it doesn't really count.
I feel probably can wait till the 100th year. They'll probably make one.
No, it's actually nothing Maple Leafs related.
What is it?
I actually have every Maple Leafs jersey I really want. Like, unless they come out with something new that just blows my mind.
You have a St. Pat's jersey?
I don't want a St. Pat's jersey. That's the thing.
Well, no.
I have one left. I take that back. I have one left. I want the White Rangers Liberty alt. If I could find one of those, that would be great.
The closest thing I have to a white whale at the moment would be if they made just like an old-style CCM replica Montreal Maroons jersey.
That's what I figured.
They used to sell those old, like the old cotton wool ones.
Right.
And it's like, well, okay, but that's basically a sweater. That's not exactly what I'm looking for.
Some lady, I saw a link. I didn't grab it, but some lady, they went on Antiques Roadshow this last week, and somebody had like an original like sweater, like the kinds that they wore on the ice in the early days of hockey, like a sweater, a Chicago Blackhawks barber pole type sweater.
Awesome.
Like 100% wool and like authentic. And some lady was like, "Oh, I have no idea what this is or what it's worth." And it's like, that's a pretty rare hockey item. You should probably donate it to Hall of Fame or something.
Wow, they're getting $12 for Gold Digger playoff tickets? I've got a ton of those things. I'm looking for a Gold Diggers jersey on eBay while you guys were talking.
But yeah, like once every couple months I would go on eBay and like, maybe there's going to be one that's like $200 that I could get. Those days are done because now I own.
So is it in really good shape and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
No, he was like, yeah, it was my dad's and he passed away 2 years ago and we have all this stuff in storage. And I already had one and I found this extra one in the storage and I said, well, I know I could get some money for it, so.
Cool.
And I know there's some Ducks fans that really want it. I'm like, yeah, well, you found me.
Nice.
That is awesome, man, because that doesn't seem like something the Ducks are going to actively reproduce.
No, they remade it for the Temu game, and they remade it incorrectly, and those were $1,000. So yeah. I wasn't about to drop that kind of cash on an incorrect reproduction.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
There are no Toledo Gold Diggers jerseys on eBay. They're just not there, so that's my new Holy Grail.
I'm trying to think, honestly, in terms of hockey, Montreal Maroons jersey that has not yet been made is probably the closest I have. Everything else that I could really want, I have.
You can custom make one, couldn't you?
I could, but that is so far, like, I wouldn't even know. I'd have to find someone who could do that first.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's places that could do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody makes some knockoff Maroons gear somewhere.
I'm sure there is, and I'm also hoping that the Canadians get put in enough outdoor games that they eventually cave and just make like a Maroons alternate for one.
But I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah,
because the Habs are the French one.
They are, yeah, but they have talked in the past. Every now and then, the discussion comes up to hang some old Maroons banners in the Bell Center.
I mean, they do have the Expo stuff up there.
The local ice rink in Westmount, which is a small, primarily English-speaking town on the island of Montreal, actually has the Maroon Stanley Cup banners in there.
Oh.
Every now and then they discuss putting them up in the Bell Center. Never happens, though, but they do talk about it now and then.
Well, you know the French Canadians would just be all up in arms, like, we cannot have the banners in our building. These are a disgrace to the Montreal Canadiens. I think I'm going to record my first, basically a hockey show.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Boy, and I thought I'd ground things to a halt.
Yeah,
Is this part of your journalism?
Are you going
degree?
solo, or are you going to have somebody come along with you to do it?
Well, that's the thing, because I'm trying to think. I'm so busy now that I don't know if I could time it with somebody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might just do it solo, and then if I find that I need someone with me, I'll try to figure it out. Or, we'll bring everybody in for the playoffs. I would, think.
Oh, we'll talk playoffs regardless on this show, yeah.
Well, yeah, we can talk about, like, it would be the same thing as, like,
When we brought Mike in for the football show?
Yeah, like football show versus Bass, where we talk about the stuff and kind of our feelings in general, but then on the show we talk about the actual games themselves.
Can we have a TSN-style trade deadline show?
Well, that's what I was going to talk about right now is all the trades that happened today.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo going full force tank.
Buffalo's like, oh, no, you don't, Toronto, Edmonton.
Did they have anything left to get rid of?
I really don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking here, what would they have that you would want at this point? You can't look at that team and go, well, geez, we could really use a couple of their forwards. I mean, they're horrible.
The Latvian guy is good.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Because they traded their only defenseman.
I mean, last year they had Ryan Miller, which you think, okay, well, you get him with a team with some decent defense, he might be okay, but wow.
Well, I mean, now they traded today they traded Tyler Myers and Drew Stafford and some other things for Evander Kane, who's out for 6 months, by the way, with surgery, and Zach Bogosian, who is pretty bad, or has been. Well, he should have been better, but he's pretty bad. And then some other junk. And then they also just traded their halfway decent goaltender, Jonas Enroth, to Dallas for their backup goaltender, Anders Lindback, who is pretty terrible in his own right. He's the guy that got blitzed by the Canadians with the Lightning last year when Bishop was injured.
Yeah.
Is he going to start with Dallas?
Who? Enroth?
Yeah.
No, Letnin's the starter there.
Oh, shit. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, you're looking for fantasy hockey.
I was already headed over there, yeah.
Yeah, no. He's going to be the backup. You can get Anders Lindback for starts if you really need them.
No!
I've got Cam Ward for starts. I'm fine in that department.
I'm deep sixing, by the way, the whole goalie start statistic in the CHL next year because, goddamn.
Lost too many games because of it?
No, not just in general. We were supposed to do it this season, but the transition to me to the commissionership kind of had my mind on other things.
It's because the Toledo Gold Diggers have run away with first place in the East due to goalie starts, right?
So Evander Kane, he had to get traded from the Jets because he's kind of an asshole.
I find it funny that he wanted to go to the Flyers, then he ends up getting sent to Buffalo.
Well, but then before he gets traded, so he has that whole thing in Vancouver. The next day, so then all the talks finally heat up. Like, fine, they're actually going to trade him this time because he's just not working out, and they got to get rid of this locker room cancer. So before they can trade him, well, and he can be useful, he finally gets surgery, season-ending surgery on something he's been fighting all year to try and play better. And they decided to trade him anyway because Buffalo's like, oh yeah, an empty roster spot. We'll trade you everything for an empty roster spot.
It's funny on Buffalo's end at least. I mean, Buffalo. I mean, it's a terrible trade, yeah, but obviously they want to tank. They're tanking hard. Like they are doubling down for Connor McDavid.
But the thing is too, which I feel so bad for Buffalo. The way that they restructured the draft lottery this year, right? So everyone that misses the playoffs is eligible for the number one pick.
Cool.
So Buffalo, at the very least, they're ensuring themselves – they have like an 80% chance to get the second overall pick. And then they only have like a 20% chance of getting the number one overall pick, despite being the most abjectly terrible team in the league and trying so hard to be that.
But what I find interesting in all of this is that Buffalo, in their attempts to tank to this degree, they're actually making trades about on par with what the Islanders just kind of do as a general rule of thumb.
They've righted the ship a little bit.
They don't seem to be going anywhere this year.
No, I mean, normally last year they had a hot start and kind of faded away. 2 years ago, they finally made it into the playoffs, right? And gave the Penguins one hell of a series. Kind of the same way that Columbus did last year.
Yeah, that won't be happening this year.
Oh, no. But, Columbus...
What are our chances of getting the first pick? I mean, they're probably not great, but...
Columbus's?
Yeah.
Let's see. They are...
But we got a shot, right?
I think they have like a 5% chance right now.
It's not entirely unreasonable, though, right?
No, it's not unreasonable. They could do it. But the other thing that's stupid and scary, and people threw out this doomsday type scenario that I really don't want to enjoy. What current defending Stanley Cup champion is on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
The Los Angeles Kings.
You're kidding.
I would kill every cat in a 25-mile radius if the LA Kings won the first overall pick and Connor freaking McDavid.
You know that's what's going to happen, right?
I swear to God, man.
I'm serious. Right after the Red Wings hoist the cup, that's what's going to happen next.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you.
Stop.
It's just that kind of season. I can feel it.
I'm personally pulling for the Leafs to get Connor McDavid. I mean, come on.
Well, he'd be the Messiah.
He would be the Messiah, yes.
He would ride into town on a donkey and everything.
Yep.
They'd have a parade.
Oh, they probably would have a parade. Yes, they probably would.
What would they use instead of palm trees? For the
Maple
donkey
leaves.
thing. Oh,
Maple leaves.
God, what am I thinking? Yeah, exactly. God, that would be so hysterical.
So, yeah.
Speaking of your Maple Leafs, Mike.
Yeah.
Nice job by that firing of the coach there, by the way. That really seemed to work out for you guys.
I'm doing, okay, I guess.
They won one game in all of January, correct?
There's a larger than normal number of vodka and beer cans on my desk.
The only reason they broke an 11-game losing streak was because they played Edmonton.
I know. And I'm sorry, but if they're going to get Connor McDavid, they got to lose those games against Edmonton.
Sounds like you just knocked over a bunch of those beer cans.
I did, yes.
That was Mike throwing another can onto the pile as we talk about his beloved Leafs. It could be worse, I suppose.
Not
really, I guess.
You already knew about the song, the Do Something I'm Giving Up on You, Maple Leafs. But this was the cover of the hockey news this week.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. It's with your boy, Philly Kessel.
Coach killer.
Is this the face of a coach killer?
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks, Phil, for getting Randy fired. Now everything's terrible.
Well,
he looks. I think he could be more than just a coach killer based on that picture. He could kill a lot of different things.
Let's face it. Any picture of Phil Kessel paints him as a deviant or outlaw in some way. He is not a photogenic man.
So, no, not really. Unless you're going for that look, then he's perfect for it. Does he have a lot of fans up your way? I mean, are there people that are like, man, Phil Kessel's awesome? Because I don't know that I'd be comfortable with that.
I've got a friend actually who's. I wouldn't say he's a huge Phil Kessel fan, but he does tend to stand up for him when people come down on him. So I
do think he gets unfairly kind of knocked around, though.
He does. I think Zach brought it up a couple shows back that Phil Kessel's problem is that he's a great talent to have. He just doesn't have the personality to be the guy.
He's like a Yari Curry to a Gretzky or Messier type?
Yeah.
Is that a good analogy?
Yeah.
Or am I going back too far for you, Zach?
No.
Okay.
I get those references.
All right, just making sure.
So, he's good at what he does. The problem is people just expect more than that out of him. This
picture, I've never seen a picture of him where he doesn't look like a serial killer.
I don't know. Again, I think that Team USA photo makes him look less serial killer and more public masturbator.
That's any better, but yeah.
But, the Leafs are still they're 13 points out of the playoffs.
I'm giving up on the playoffs. I want them to tank for McDavid. Come on.
They're 15 points out of McDavid.
Well,
that means that they
still have a chance so far as they miss the playoffs. So it's all good.
Is he NHL ready? Like, say if they did get him, would he be playing next year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The kid's for real. This is. I don't want to say Gretzky level, but he is a generational talent. So
really?
you stick him on the ice as soon as you can if you get him.
He's probably Crosby.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
He plays more like Crosby than anybody else.
That's not bad. Well, we'll take him.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's why, you look at the East and Florida's creeping back into it. Actually, if they win their games in hand over Boston, they'd be tied for the final playoff spot. But I've never seen any conference in any league basically have its playoff team set so far into with so much season remaining.
Well, you've got the good teams and everyone else. There's just such a huge divide.
The East.
Yeah, there's really
bottom half of the East is.
There's not a race to be had there, really.
No, I mean, like I said, Florida, they're slowly creeping their way back into it. Whether they actually stick around or not, it's who's to say. But Philadelphia's another one of those conspiracy teams where if they make it in the lottery and it's like, who lines Gary Bettman's pockets?
Podcast.
Could it be Comcast and Ed Snyder, owner of the Philadelphia Flyers?
The other conspiracy are the Coyotes.
No, because they're not a big enough market.
Putting McDavid there, one way or the other, doesn't save them.
It's not going to solve anything, But you put him in Philadelphia, which is a good hockey town and a big market.
Kid becomes a star.
Or worse, Los Angeles, number 2 media market in the country. The Rangers don't need his help, really. I mean, they're going to be popular. I mean, they'd be more popular with him, but you know what I mean? Whereas L.A., you put Connor McDavid out there, and all of a sudden, hockey's a whole lot more interesting to everybody. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You get all the
Why
celebrities.
they created for Gretzky in the first place was to get people like, best player in hockey? I'll watch now.
So if you want to entertain a conspiracy theory, I could see it, yeah. Philadelphia or Los Angeles. And if he goes to either one of those teams, then I'm right there. This is like as bad as the NFL officiating conspiracies.
And Gary Bettman is the slimy type of guy to do a conspiracy, but at the same time, he's the inept slimy type of guy who, as we said, would probably end up going to Ottawa or something where
he would end up in Nashville somehow.
Oh, the Purds.
Yeah, excuse you, the NHL leading Purds.
Right.
I'm still calling them the Purds.
Of all the teams to come out of freaking nowhere this year.
Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought that as soon as they got a coach who actually let them play offensive hockey, that they would have done something?
Well, it's the combination of Pecorino being healthy for the majority of the season.
Wait, you mean if we score more goals than the other team, that's better than a tie? Well, hold on here.
Right, and then Peter Laviolette comes in and says, go. But, Mike Ribeiro's their number 1 center. I don't get it.
I haven't looked at Zach's nerd numbers yet, so
the nerd numbers favor Nashville.
Damn it!
But
I thought you said Nashville was due for a regression when you pulled out your Zach's nerd numbers earlier this season.
Right, but as the
you people need to get your facts straight here. Come on.
As the season's gone on, the numbers have improved.
Okay.
And so not only their possession numbers are still high, and their PDO is still really high, but that's just
that damn PDO will get you every time. What's PDO stand for?
It's save percentage plus shooting percentage.
Save plus. Where does the D come from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea what PDO actually stands for. I just understand it as save percentage plus shooting percentage, which basically equals like a luck coefficient.
Well, it's kind of cool to see, I guess, from a standpoint of just like somebody that likes to see new blood involved in things. It's kind of cool to see them.
Right. I mean, you look at the West, or not even just the West. Like, you go to the East, the Islanders. Division,
right.
Awesome, great. Tampa Bay's leading the Atlantic, cool. The Caps are going to be back in it, fine. Maybe Florida knocks off Boston. That would be fun. This is what could happen in the East. You could have Islanders, Rangers, Penguins, Capitals, Montreal, Boston, and Tampa, Detroit playing each other.
Oh, that storied rivalry of the Lightning and the Red
Well, you'd have a little bit of a story to play up with Stevie Yzerman. Yeah.
Right, you'd get the Steve Yzerman factor. You'd get the jerseys factor for us.
And if you take off your glasses, Mike, it would look like the Maple Leafs were involved.
Right, and then you look over in the West, and Nashville, Calgary, Winnipeg, a revamped Vancouver team.
Calgary, man, look at them go.
They're hanging on, man.
I'm now pulling for the Jets and the Flames to make noise because the Maple Leafs are a lost cause.
That's why I'm so happy that the Jets went out and made this trade too.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Myers is an upgrade over Zach Bogosian. Drew Stafford is a good piece to have.
Yeah,
and maybe they need a little defensive help, and the goaltending could be better. But they're making a move, and this is something Winnipeg hasn't done since they moved to Winnipeg.
They've actually been making
NHL
trades.
Player, right. This is the very first NHL player trade that their GM has made. Every other trade they've made has been like prospects and draft picks. This is an NHL player trade, and it's like a blockbuster 8-player trade. Mm-hmm. So it's good. It's good to see that Winnipeg is really going for it this time, and not going to fade like they have in the past.
Well, and they finally have Paul Maurice for a full season, which helps because Maurice they actually really did start to pick up last season when Maurice took over. So,
well, Colorado really fell off the cliff, didn't they, from last year?
Well,
they were a refreshing candidate too.
We were all. I mean, I think we all picked them to regress at the start of the season, but not to this extent.
We haven't talked actual NBA in a minute. We're going to play some games.
Okay, cool. Do I need to get my rosters out?
No rosters.
Okay.
We're gonna guess the standings.
This will be fun too. Okay.
Because
no cheating.
We're getting up to the All-Star break coming up this weekend in New York City. The skills competition in Brooklyn and the game itself at Madison Square Garden. Interesting addition to NBA All-Star Weekend for the All-Star Saturday. I think it's LeBron is going to host a fashion show.
Oh God!
Amongst all the guys.
Oh my
show
God!
Up to the thing. So that'll be probably more interesting than anything else that happens.
Maybe LeBron should focus on playing basketball.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right, so we're guessing the standings. All right, where are we starting?
Do you want? Well, where do you want to start? East or West?
Let's go east. We'll just work our way right across the country.
East. Okay. First, who is in last place in the Eastern Conference?
That's Philadelphia. No, it's the Knicks.
The Knicks with how many wins?
5.
10.
Oh, okay, 10.
10 wins.
I was only off by 5. Not bad.
They're 3-23 on the road, and 7-19 at home.
And keep in mind, this was a team that people thought, with the arrival of Phil Jackson, would be not a title contender, but at least a playoff contender this year.
Derek Fisher, new coach there too.
Carmelo Anthony. Okay, go ahead. So what's our next question here?
How about this?
Okay.
How many teams that are currently in the top 8 of the East have winning records?
4.
3.
6.
Oh. The East is improving.
Yes. Your 8th seed
is, let me think here, the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs will be the
8th seed last year.
The Orlando Magic.
No, the Orlando Magic just fired their coach.
Indianapolis Pacers.
Indianapolis Pacers are just one spot ahead of Orlando in 4th place, or 4th from last in the East.
Okay.
No, that would be your Charlotte Hornets.
Hey!
22-30.
That history finally showed up in FedEx, and they got fired up, and look at them go.
Yeah, sure. Your number 17?
Let me see here. I'm going to go with...
Recently a dynasty.
Recently?
Yeah.
Miami Heat.
The Heat.
Miami Heat.
I was going to go with the Pelicans. I'm not even sure they're in the East. Are they in the East or West, the Pelicans?
Pelicans are in the West.
Oh, okay.
Fighting for a playoff spot in the West.
All right. Go Pelicans.
Miami is the 7th seed. They're 22-29.
I heard Chris Bosh is actually playing pretty good basketball.
Yeah, but they're still 7 games under 500.
Yeah, well.
And they're actually 7 games out of 6th place.
Okay, so
6th place, you wouldn't even guess this.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks? Yeah.
But they have new ownership, though. So,
but they've been terrible in the past, and now they're all right.
The Bucks have new ownership. They're making plans for a new arena. They're getting new uniforms. I think they're really going to make a push.
Wait, they're getting new uniforms? What are they going with? Tell me they're going back to the old Kareem era Bucks uniforms. Those things are awesome.
Nobody knows what they're going to be, just that they're getting new ones.
I hope they don't change color schemes. So I like the green and the red and white. But the Bucks, what are they, the 6th seed?
6th seed, they're 29-23.
I think my Cavaliers are number 5, right? Well, not my
Cavs
Cavaliers.
are number 5.
Okay. But
LeBron experiment not working to the levels that everyone expected.
I heard that they're on a pretty good run. They're like 10-3 in their last 13 or something like that.
In their last 10 that I can see, they're 9-1.
Okay, yeah, they've been on a bit of a roll. I've heard that on the news.
They're 20-9 at home.
Yeah,
so.
they're actually kind of moving things along. Well, you know what the problem is? It's not LeBron, it's Kevin Love. They don't know how to use him.
Well, he went off the other day.
That's what I heard.
They might be. They might have a winning record at home, but when Toronto comes to town, it's a whole other thing.
Right, you guys make it it's a road game for the Cavs at that point.
And you guys try to drown us out with your rock and roll music.
That's right. our damn American rock and roll music. You know those kids and their newfangled music. Okay, so where are we at? 4?
4 seed.
Pacers.
Pacers?
No, not the Pacers.
The
Pacers are bad. Paul George got his leg broken in the offseason.
All right, let me. It's not Detroit, right?
Detroit is
they're pretty terrible.
32.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Let me think here. Eastern teams. It's not the Knicks.
Although
obviously.
they're only a game and a half out of the playoffs. Detroit is.
I know. 4th. Is it the Raptors?
No, I think the Raptors are like the number 1 seed.
No, the Raptors aren't number 1, but they're in the top
East.
3.
The Orlando. No, it's not the Magic. Who else is in the East?
Magic
The
fired
Wizards?
their coach. It is the Wizards.
Good one, Mike. Nice job.
Before we get to the Wizards, the Magic fired their coach
right
the other day. Do you know what the coach's name was?
That got fired?
Mickey Mouse.
His name was Bob.
Nope.
Okay.
Goofy.
That sounds good to me. That was Jack Vaughn. Yeah, the old Kansas player. Yeah. Right.
Jock Vaughn.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Played for the Kansas Jayhawks back in the mid-'90s.
Who names their kid Jock?
Yeah, but anyway,
Mr.
you're
and Mrs.
correct,
Vaughn
Mike.
do.
The Wiz are your 4th seed.
2 things they need to do. They need to go back to being the Bullets. They need to bring back those West Unsold era uniforms. That would be
At
badass.
least they kind of look like. At least they kind of look like the Bullets.
Kinda, but they really need to go.
They're never going to go back to the Bullets.
That's too bad.
Because,
I know,
they
but come
actually-
on. What a
they're
dumb
the 4th
reason.
seed, but they have the same exact record as the 3rd seed and the Central Division leaders.
Toronto?
No, Toronto's in the East, right?
Toronto's in the Atlantic.
Atlantic, whatever they call it.
Okay,
Not the Cavs.
Chicago?
Bulls.
Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
And that's with Derrick Rose still broken.
Well, he's contributing. Your number 2 seed.
The Atlanta Hawks. Right?
No, number 2 seed is the North.
The Toronto Raptors.
We the North.
So the Hawks have to be number 1 then, right?
Right. Toronto's in 2nd place, but they are 7.5 games behind the 2nd best record in the National Basketball Association, the Atlanta freaking Hawks.
I love it. You listen to us go down the playoff teams. You know what you didn't hear? You didn't hear Boston.
Nope.
You didn't hear New York. It's great to have all this
Didn't
new
hear
blood
Brooklyn.
in there. Yeah, where's Brooklyn?
Brooklyn is a game out.
Okay.
Brooklyn is 1 game out. Detroit is a game and a half. Boston's
You know
actually
what?
2 games out of the playoffs right now.
You know what?
Despite trading
Wow.
away everyone worth a damn.
Did they trade what's his name, Rondo?
Yeah, they traded him to Dallas.
Okay. So run them down real quick. So we've got the Hawks, the Raptors.
Hawks, Raptors, Bulls, Wiz, Cavs, Bucks, Heat, Hornacats.
I'm so glad the Bucks, Hawks, and the Raptors and the Wizards. That's just so cool.
Yeah.
All right, shall we?
I mean, right now we'd have Atlanta, Charlotte, Toronto, Miami, Chicago, Milwaukee. That'd be a great series.
Yeah.
And a rebirth of an old rivalry when Gilbert Arenas was there. Cleveland, Washington.
Cool.
In the Western Conference,
I can tell you who's not in the playoffs. That would be the Los Angeles Lakers.
what place are the Lakers in?
They're in 13th.
They're in 14th,
Oh, okay.
Who's
but they
the
do
one
have
team?
13 wins.
Who's the one team they're better than?
Minnesota.
That team can't be
Minnesota's
long.
objectively terrible too.
Minnesota can't. The Timberwolves can't be long for Minnesota, can they? I mean,
Where would they go?
That's the question. That's always the
Like,
$1 million
there's no
question.
reason for them to move. I don't know. The only time they've ever been relevant was KG.
Right. They looked like they
made
might.
the Western Conference Finals a couple years and just kept getting dump trumped by the Lakers.
It looked like they might have a little something going when they had Rubio and a couple other guys, and Kevin Love was
with
there.
Kevin
But
Love, that never took off either.
nope.
The 8th place team, only with a 1-game lead over your New Orleans Pelicans and Oklahoma City Thunder.
The Denver Nuggets.
No.
Okay.
eighth in the
Phoenix
West.
Suns.
I keep forgetting that they exist now that Steve Nash is in there.
Can you name a Phoenix Sun?
No.
Amari
And
Stoudemire.
Penny Hardaway.
Charles Barkley.
No.
All of those people did play for the Suns at one point.
Can you name a 2015 Phoenix Sun?
No.
Oh, wait, I think I can do one. Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe is a Phoenix Sun.
Okay, there you go.
That is correct.
All right.
Hold on. I want to pull up their player stats. I want to see if you can. Oh, there are brothers playing for the Phoenix Suns. Did you know this?
Dude, every team in the NBA has brothers. Come on.
There's actually 2 sets of blood relation brothers on the team.
Really?
Yeah. Identical twins, Marcus and Markieff Morris,
And then the Sedines, right? No.
Goran Dragic and Zoran Dragic.
Wow.
Let's see.
So
player
okay,
stats.
wait a minute. So are they twins? Like identical? Either one?
Markieff and Marcus, yes. They played for Kansas.
So here's the thing, okay? Why wouldn't you say if the first one gets in foul trouble, they just sneak off and switch jerseys, and the other one can come back in? You know what I mean?
So that's basically what they do with twins in pro wrestling.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at on the standings here?
Who leads the?
You can't get this kind of NBA talk anywhere, folks. Anywhere. This is some hard-hitting analysis.
Now, really, the West. You think the upheaval in the East is interesting? The West is all over the damn place. So Phoenix is 8. Oklahoma City, who started the year without Durant and Westbrook, they're a game out of the playoffs right now.
Okay.
But this is why it's upside down, because Oklahoma City is technically right now they're the 10th seed in the West. Phoenix is 8. Who is number 7?
Okay, 7 in the West.
Portland.
Remember, I told you the West is upside down.
Houston.
I was going to say
Houston?
Portland.
Houston is up there. Portland is up there. They both have
The Clippers.
an advantage. Clippers are 6. San Antonio Spurs are the 7th seed in the West right now.
I don't think Popovich cares. They just need to get in, and then they'll do their thing. I think he's resting all of his older players and stuff, so I wouldn't worry about that too much.
San Antonio 7, Clippers are 6. Number 5,
The Trailblazers.
Blazers are the 4 seed.
Okay.
Rockets are the 5th.
Nuggets.
Are the 3 seed.
The Nuggets.
Nuggets are not in the playoffs. They're bad.
Okay.
The Mavericks.
The Mavericks are 5th. Yep.
Okay.
35-19.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Portland is 4, 35-17. Houston is 3, 36-13.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Number 2,
The Memphis Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies, yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies.
And the real shocker, I think, is at number 1, the Golden
The
State
best
Warriors.
record in the whole damn league. The 41-9, well, best winning percentage, I should say. In the whole damn league is the Golden State Warriors, 41-9.
Wow. If they could
Yeah.
just go back to the city jerseys, we'd really have something here.
Well, they're close.
Yeah, they're not bad.
I never liked the city jerseys.
I don't think I like them so much as they're just different. I think that's what I liked about them.
Yeah.
No, not the city. I like the actually. There's another one. They had a version of it that was Golden State. It said on the front, I think.
Yeah.
I like that better. The city ones were kind of like, hey, you know what? Get over yourselves.
Let's see. Let's try and test your player knowledge again.
Steph Curry.
No. Not talking about the Warriors anymore.
Okay.
Although, hold on. I want to look at the standings one more time. These would be the playoffs series in the West right now. Golden State, Phoenix.
Okay.
San Antonio, Memphis.
That'll be a good series.
Houston, Clippers. And Portland, Dallas.
What the hell with the Clippers? I thought they were supposed to be after they got what's his name?
They've had a weird season this year.
Once they got Chris Paul, that was it. They were going to be the new Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Well, that
here's the
doesn't
thing.
seem to have happened.
The Clippers have beaten Golden State. They've beaten Houston. They've beaten Memphis. They've beaten San Antonio. But they've lost to Atlanta, Toronto, Chicago, Miami, Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
Could this be the year that the East might actually, outside of the Heat, be a serious contender for the title, unlike years prior?
Atlanta's good. Toronto's good. Chicago plays great defense.
Yeah.
John Wall's doing great things in Washington. LeBron James could take over a series if Cleveland gets hot. I don't know what to do with Milwaukee. Miami's probably on the way out, and Charlotte is Charlotte.
Yeah, I don't see Miami making a lot of noise. I mean, I think they're kind of like the Bulls were the first couple years when Jordan retired.
Yeah.
Where they were okay, but they're definitely on the way down, not on the way up.
So, who leads the league in points per game?
Steph Curry.
Points per game average. No.
No?
Steph Curry's not in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
James Harden.
James Harden, 27.7 points a game for Houston Rockets, yeah.
Wow, no kidding. Okay.
Number 2 is LeBron, 26 a game. 3 is Russell Westbrook. 4 is the Brow, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, from what I understand, now granted I haven't followed much, but it sounds like that kid's a seriously good player.
He has matured into probably the best all-around player in the league right now.
That's what I've heard,
in terms of
yeah.
everything he can do.
Yeah.
With point scoring and rebounds and assists. He's a 7-footer, but he can drive the lane. He can shoot outside. He's a freak. He is damn good. Let's see. Rebounds, not that important. Assists.
Well, let me see if I can guess the rebounding leader. LaMarcus Aldridge. No, it's DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan of the Clips.
Is that right?
Yep.
Hey, see, he's on my fantasy team. That's how I knew that.
The thing about the Clippers, right, is that, that Chris Paul trade was supposed to make them the new Lakers, and they made a big deal about the fact that their ascension came when the Lakers were starting to suck. Mm-hmm. But look, they're always going to be the Clippers. It doesn't matter what they do. You know what? They might even make the playoffs for an extended period of time. They will never, ever amount to anything because they are the Clippers.
Who wants to bet right now that the Lakers win another title before the Clippers get their first one?
I'll take that bet. The Lakers will win another NBA title before the Clippers.
Yeah, I'd take that bet, too. I'm taking the Lakers in that.
I'd almost put money that the Clippers never, ever in my lifetime win an NBA title. There are just some franchises that aren't destined to do anything with their lives.
Yeah, they're just... I'm sorry, Clippers. What are we calling them now? Street corner?
I don't know. I still like Clippers Living Room.
Clippers Living Room, it's just not going to happen.
By the way, so I'm going to throw you guys for a loop with this final NBA thing, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Every month they award Players of the Month in the league.
Right.
Last month, the month of January, the Players of the Month for the Western Conference, it was James Harden. Who was the Player of the Month for the Eastern Conference? And I'm going to guarantee you will never, ever guess this correctly.
Well, you got to remember, we only have knowledge of about 5 players out of, what are there, like 100 or something? So, in the East, Player of the Month, I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving just because.
Nope.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea. LeBron James.
They named the Atlanta Hawks starting 5 as the Player of the Month.
Okay.
All 5 of their starters they named.
That sounds like...
That's kind of cool.
That sounds like when Time Magazine named you the Person of the Year.
Well, they won 19 games in a row. The Hawks won 19 games in a row.
I understand that, but pick someone then from the Hawks.
I know. It's dumb.
I like it.
I just thought that was stupid.
I think it's cool, but
Anyway.
that's me.
That was your...
They should raise a banner for that.
We will see you with more NBA talk in June.
Probably.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach's Tabs.
Zach's Tabs!
Well done, Mike. That was... You really went down and got that one.
Oh, that was guttural.
Guttural, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, what do we got?
Well, you want to start with the most pointless award show in all of the award shows?
You could kind of go that route with all the award shows, but okay, yeah.
But of all these genres of things, music is the most personal of all the mediums, you would say?
Just on that note, I've noticed when you discuss music on the internet, it almost gets as heated as politics or religion.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see it with any other form of entertainment, but with music, people get really attached.
And it's also, with some of the music that comes out now, it's hard to even, put certain things into certain categories. Like, best metal album this year. Who do you think won best metal album?
Tenacious D, which
Tenacious
was ridiculous.
D?
Yeah. Was stupid. Aren't they kind of...
Tenacious D put out an album. Secondly, they're comedy.
I was just going to say they're a comedy act. I mean, they're basically Spinal Tap.
In 1989, Jethro Tull won the award for Best Metal Album.
Over Metallica.
Over Metallica with Crest of the Knave. Now, I like Jethro Tull.
So do I.
In no universe do they qualify as heavy metal.
No, even their heaviest songs. No, even their heaviest songs aren't heavy metal, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, you take something like Aqualung or a Locomotive Breath or something like that, hard rock, definitely not heavy metal.
Yeah,
not by
so
any
just to
definition.
show... that was 1989, so the Grammys have always been a crapshoot.
Yeah.
So here, there was a lot of Hall of Fame award winners. I don't know why there's so many. I'm going to run through them really fast.
Okay.
Lou Reed. The Sex Pistols.
Wait, stop. Okay, that's a good point to stop. First off, I think Lou Reed is horribly overrated.
Okay.
And I get that the Sex Pistols did the punk thing, but for fuck's sake, can we quit acting like they were like the second coming of pick a band that's actually really good? I won't choose the Beatles because you guys don't agree with me, but still. Okay, go ahead.
I like the Beatles. Okay,
but Mike's, there's something wrong with him. He doesn't like the Beatles, so go ahead.
They're not my cup of tea.
All right, that's fine.
Which is funny because they're British. Matt Waller and his Rhythm, the Bobby Fuller 4, Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys, Fontella Bass.
Actually, really quick side note, and it's one of the strangest coincidences you'll ever encounter. Fontella's last name is actually Fontella, basically a sports show. She just uses the abbreviation. That was a long way to go for a joke that really didn't go anywhere, wasn't it? All right, move ahead.
I saw where you were going with it.
Yes, I think everybody did.
Song of the Year, Stay With Me by Sam Smith.
I didn't even know Sam Smith was a thing until I heard that he won all these Grammys.
He's okay. He's basically...
Compared to someone that I would know.
He's a male version of Adele. He's British and sings pretty.
Did Left Shark win anything?
Left Shark did not win anything, no.
Left Shark, I think, isn't eligible until next year, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Right. These were the 2014 songs.
Gotcha.
I see Left Shark having a really good Grammys next year. Probably win a couple Emmys, too.
Left Shark's going to have a banner year. I mean,
I believe so.
He burst onto the scene, and he's doing pretty well in his conference play. I'm just saying. Maybe he might sneak onto someone's bracket.
I'm thinking Left Shark is almost a guaranteed participant in this year's Glorious Tournament of Victory. If he's not, then we have absolutely failed in our fiduciary duty to our listeners.
So, album of the year was Morning Phase by Beck.
Can I quote somebody that I thought had a really good point on this with that?
Sure.
Beck had a new album? Who knew?
That's what I said.
Right.
I literally, I try to keep up on new music or, things that are considered, album of the year. I had zero idea that Beck had even put out an album this year.
I didn't either.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot.
And Kanye West didn't agree either.
This guy...
Kanye West... Okay, this bugs me. In this incident, we have a guy... Now, look. Beck, very talented musician. He plays, 15 instruments?
Something like that.
Kanye West, by some accounts, doesn't even write some of his own material.
Excuse you, he's the voice of a generation.
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation.
Okay. What generation?
Ours, Mike.
Then
Ours.
we are fucked. But
that's been established, I think.
Yes. But it's just... I mean, it is the height of arrogance for Kanye West, who doesn't even write his own crap, to interrupt a guy who, whatever you think of his music, is, from a technical standpoint, very talented.
Kanye didn't even interrupt him this time. He went up, and at first everyone thought, oh, it's a joke, haha.
Except he wasn't joking.
Except after the show, he decided to tell everyone that he wasn't joking and that Beyonce should win every award that she's ever nominated for.
First off, with this Kanye West character, I don't know much of his music, but doesn't he use, sampled stuff?
He does. He used to make a lot more of his beats than he does now, though. He started off as a producer for Jay-Z,
okay,
and he would make a lot of his beats. That's what got him kind of a name. And then he started making his own raps, and I think he's more talented than you guys are giving him. He does do a lot.
I'm not saying he's not talented. My question is, who in the hell is he to decide? And this goes to the bigger point of the Grammys in general. But who is he to decide what's good and what isn't? And why does he feel like it's necessary to step in whenever something happens that he doesn't agree with?
Because he doesn't have a filter.
What is his obsession with Beyonce?
He just thinks that she's really great.
Well, okay.
She's good.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly is. Yeah, but that's not the point. It's just that this guy... This guy just needs to shut the fuck up is what he needs to do.
Now he's the father of a beautiful baby girl, Northwest.
Doesn't that alone kind of disqualify him from making any statements on, anything when you name your kid Northwest? But then again, would we even be talking about the Grammys if he hadn't done that?
Honestly, I think that the Grammys are the least relevant of all the award shows, or at least any of the music ones. Because music now, even more so than it used to be, it's so stratified, and now with the internet, if you like a certain very distinct kind of music, you can go find it and just listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes a whole lot of different things now.
Sure.
Top 40 stations are kind of useless.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got you go on YouTube, even if you just go on YouTube, I'm a big fan of, I guess the best way to put it is epic operatic rock. There are maybe 4 or 5 channels on YouTube that do nothing but compile this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, if I don't want to listen to anything else, I don't have to, honestly.
Right. Between YouTube and iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and what is the other one? Hypermix. There are so many different ways to find new music, and if you like a little thing, you can find a community of other people that like that little thing, and you can all enjoy your little thing together.
Anyway, what's next?
Running low on time, so we're going to breeze through a couple of these. Just quick reactions. The Chicago Cubs have announced that Wrigley Field's bleachers, which they've torn down and are trying to remodel, will not be ready for the season opener.
That's going to go over
Wrigley Field
well.
Not ready for the season opener of the Cubs.
That's going to go over well in Chicago.
That is such a Chicago Cubs thing to do.
Can I just say, too, while we're talking about it, I don't know why everybody thinks the Cubs are like this dark horse World Series team this year. I don't understand it. We'll get to it when we do our baseball show. But
thing.
I also think it's the fact that, you kind of just look at what Madden was able to do with the Rays.
I'm not saying the Cubs aren't headed in the right direction. I just think they're still at least a season or two away from being serious contenders.
Yeah. A new OHL team is coming to Flint, Michigan next year, and they're applying to be the Flint Tropics. as seen in Will Ferrell's Semi-Pro.
Yes. Will they get to use the logo?
I hope so.
You think they'll let him have it?
They better.
Okay.
Because that'd be interesting. The Seahawks, they licensed the term 12th man from Texas A&M for $5,000 a year after an agreement was made in 2006.
Just $5,000, that's it?
$5,000 a year. The initial one was until 2011. They renewed it for another 5 years, which means next year the license expires. They've already begun new negotiations, but they're saying it's going to cost a little bit more.
Oh, boy, I bet.
Because
with a Super Bowl since then.
With a couple Super Bowls and Seattle jerseys with the number 12 on them were in the top 15 in jersey sales in the NFL last year. So A&M is saying, hey, you're selling a little bit too much of that crap. We would like some money, please.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be a little more than $5,000 this time around.
Yeah.
Might want to add about 5 zeros to that, and then we're talking.
Yep. Cam Newton is going back to finish his degree.
What's he getting his degree in?
Football.
He's not.
Wait a minute. He's actually there to play school. How about that? Good for him. That's seriously, that's cool.
He's in line to graduate with a degree in sociology.
Good for him.
Yeah. Local ABC affiliate, they were showing the highlights of the Kings Blue Jackets game. Greg, you're an Ohio resident. How do you spell Columbus?
K-O-L-O-M-B-U-Z.
The ABC affiliate spelled Columbus incorrect twice. C-O-L-O-M-B-U-S, Blue Jackets, playing in C-O-L-O-U-M-B-U-S, Ohio.
Wait, L-O-U? That would be like Columbus? Or could it be Columbus? French, there we go.
Columbus.
Someone needs to sit down and take them to hockey school out there.
Yeah.
Maybe a geography class wouldn't hurt either.
I got that off the very ever funny LA Learns to Hockey page. The profile picture is a Kings jersey with Ryan Getzlaf's name on it.
They're trying.
And the final thing, as we spread the great gospel of Left Shark, he has infiltrated a This Is SportsCenter commercial.
That didn't take long, did it?
That's all I got.
Okay, well, on that
spread forth and spread the great news of Left Shark.
All hail Left Shark.
May Left Shark be with you. Go in peace to love and serve Left Shark.
All righty.
Thanks be to Left Shark.
And there you have it.
I know.
All right. That's going to do it. We'll see you next time. Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Go to the website and you can binge listen to the entire Season 2 of Basically a Football Show and all the other good stuff, blah, 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 blah. We'll see you next time.
Woo! Left Shark.
Please hang up and try again.